Well, I'm responsible for the European research area, which is a concept that has been established 24 years ago. It's part of the treaty, and the objective is to create the single market for mobility of researchers and knowledge. So what we try to do through this collaboration with the member states, we'll try to develop joint efforts and to deploy joint efforts on promoting R&I policies across Europe, on working on joint projects like research infrastructures, on promoting reforms in order to make our research more excellent than what it is today, and also to promote investments on key critical areas, technologies, on excellent research, from basic research up to higher TRL. This is one part of my job, has to do a lot of collaborations with stakeholders and member states. And the other part of my job is very much related to promote innovation policy in Europe. And there are two main angles that I would like to focus. The one is the new European Innovation Agenda, a new strategy that we have developed 2 years ago, where we really focus on how we can promote deep tech technologies in Europe and to attract investments, to alleviate the fragmentation of the ecosystems, and to attract and promote deep tech talents in Europe. And so very much policy related. And the second part is focused very much on programming and developing the priorities of the European Innovation Council, which is a flagship part of Horizon Europe program. So first of all, in the European Commission, we define the policy and the priorities. So EIC is part of our program, and every year we have an overall strategy and orientation paper on where we would like to invest. That's the first work that we are doing in my directorate, in collaboration with other DGs, that they are also very much interested to use the EIC as an enabling instrument for their policies and technologies in the different sectors. The second way that we collaborate with the EIC is by putting the overall political framework, how and what we can do from the policy side in order to ensure that we develop a more favorable framework for investments in Europe and for riskier investments in Europe. So this is something that we are looking very much as well. And the third area that we are working in the Directorate, in close collaboration, of course, with the colleagues of the agency that are responsible to implement the program, is we are very much looking on enabling the equity, the investments, because the investments that they are implementing through the EIC fund are done basically in the context of a new governance that we have established in close collaboration with the grant element. So we have to ensure that these investments, they are done in the appropriate way according to the European policies, and we ensure that the pipeline of projects that are coming out from the selection, they are having the best appropriate support in order to be able to attract the other investments as well. So in a nutshell, what we are doing in the Commission, we put the policy framework, we define what are the priorities to which we deliver the new work program and calls. We try to facilitate from the policy regulatory framework a better conditions for the European scale-ups, and we are here to monitor very closely where the money they go, whether the impact that we expect is coming, and then to report on this impact to our policymakers, to the member states, to the Commission services, and then based on this feedback to design the next cycle of implementation of the EIC. I didn't start it with research and innovation. Actually, I did a lot of different policies during my career, and I have been working only the last 7 to 8 years in research and innovation. Nevertheless, I have experience with the framework programs and the R&I policy overall. I believe the last years, there are a lot of changes. First of all, I see much more closer collaboration between Commission, member states, and stakeholders in order to work together on the reforms and the policy developments that we need to improve our R&I ecosystem in Europe. whether this is related to the careers of researchers, whether it is related to the basic research, whether it is related to what we do with universities and research in universities, or how we share data in an open and trustful way, or whether it is related to the innovation ecosystem. I see much more closer collaboration on that. We have changed also the philosophy on how we finance projects. At the beginning of the framework program, which is already 40 years ago, we were very much looking on grants. That was the main way of financing. And the main achievements that we were looking at this period was, on one side, to finance the best excellent researchers, to do blue sky research, and to promote the collaboration between universities, research organizations, and stakeholders around collaborative research. This has been changed a lot over the years. We still have, of course, the blue sky research is so fundamental in order to have the technologies of the future, but we also promote a much more strategic approach, where we want to finance, in which areas, because they are addressing the societal challenges and the economic security challenges of Europe and the technological leadership of Europe, and also how we can finance and to promote deep tech technologies and innovation in Europe. This is completely new. What we have put in place with the EIC is a revolution, I would say, and it addresses a big gap in Europe. The fact that investors, they are not coming to invest on deep tech companies, they are not coming to invest on riskier investments, and in most of the cases, they are absorbed by by US funds, and they are taken elsewhere. So I've seen a lot of change over the 40 years, or at least the years that I am following the framework program. Much more trend for collaboration, much more link also to the industrial importance of our results, and much more work in the context of deep tech technologies and promoting innovation. And at the same time, what we'll try to do to ensure that we have this seamless connection between the different level of TRL of developments for basic research up to the market. So I hope that with this new way of work, we will be successful under the current framework program, and there will be much more expectations in the future for us. Actually, I think it was a fantastic idea, and I evaluated from what we had today. Selected 48 companies coming from so many different member states, also member states that normally they don't have very well developed ecosystems, many female leaders of the companies, and a club where coaches, investors, they are already there to support those 48 companies to scaling up and potentially to find investors and to become the leaders of the future. And all these companies are addressing key technologies, digital, renewable energies. These are technologies that we would like to look as in the future, now and in the future. So this EIC Scaling Club, it brings the potential of really look at it after 2 or 3 or 4 years and being proud to celebrate that we have more unicorns in Europe, and we have more key players in Europe that will design or define the new technological developments for the world. So I'm thinking about outside Europe. So you can look at them from this perspective of European security, in the sense that there will be hopefully new technologies, important technologies made in Europe and remain in Europe, and they are for Europeans but also for the world. And it will be places eventually where it would be possible to attract talents in Europe or to retain talents in Europe, and will be eventually those companies that we will bring them later on to the industrial partners in order to have the scaling up of the products in the market, which will mean more competitiveness for Europe. This Scale-Up initiative is part of the EIC overall, but it really chooses maybe one of the best companies that we can find now in Europe in the terms of potential. So, growing up companies with huge potential, it's what best we can do at European level. I don't think it's easy to be done in isolation at national level, so I really believe that this is a great initiative that will, in its own, will bring a lot of impact in the coming years.